Gutterball 78 coming hot at you on a wonderful Thursday afternoon. We got myself and my co-host, as always, Paul, with us. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz. You want to be on Gutterball? Make sure to DM us, comment, email us, everything. Get on Gutterball. Be a guest. Anybody, we'll take you. Come as you are. No judgment. We'll take you. Just get on Gutterball. We got a great list of topics. Nothing more to say there. I'm doing great. Paul, what's up with you? What's new?
Doing good. Been an okay week. Working out when I can. It's honestly been weird. Like, usually my schedule's been pretty consistent lately, and I've been getting into the grind of like boxing some days and then doing like strength training other days. And like I've been starting out my strength training with running. Like I run a mile. Like that's my warm up. Like I'll stretch and then I'll just run a mile and then I'll start doing strength training. It just kind of like warm me up, get the heart rate going. But this week has been weird, man. Like my girlfriend's friend came down. They're getting married. They got married today. And so we had dinner with them last night. And it's just like I've had like a weird schedule like in the evenings, but not doing too bad. How about yourself?
Good. The way you said it, it sounded like your girlfriend was getting married. You're like, yeah, my girlfriend's coming down with her friend. They're getting married. You know.
Oh, oops. No, her friend is getting married. Yeah, it's like you're okay with that? I didn't know.
Yeah, I'm like, what? I mean, whatever. I guess. Whatever.
I'm also tired and also just like a little bit stressed. I've talked to you about it before the cast. Just like the whole home buying experience is home ownership, getting into it's very stressful. And I've been kind of eating way too many carbs than it should be today, but it's all right. It's just a day. Even though I had dinner last night, but I did pick the chicken on the menu.
Yeah, I had chicken for lunch. I went to Outback. It was all right. But yeah, I'm doing good.
Outback for lunch. Fucking fresh shrimp on the barbie, mate.
Fresh shrimp on the barbie. I was like, fuck.
Did you have it on go? Were you in Target stocking, eating off a skewer? Like, were you eating off
I wasn't working today. What are you, psycho?
You working.
Jesus Christ. Who do you think I am? I'm eating it off of there. No, I was hanging out with people, and yeah, that's where we went. Because there's nowhere to eat in Duluth. This is what I'm fucking reduced to, is going to Outback on at 2 p.m. on a Thursday like a fucking half a retard. That's the problem with Duluth.
Cheers, mate. Cheers, mate. You want the bloomin' onion, do you?
Yeah, the bloomin' onion. Yeah. Oh, I just knocked that guy in the face. Yeah, some stupid server bitch dropped like 6 glasses. Like 10 feet from us, shattered all over the place. The manager comes out. He's just so fucking mad, dude. That dude was so pissed. Oh, and I got a curb moment for you. Okay. A curb moment is like, you know, like a Larry David situation where, I don't know, someone's walking behind you and you got the door and you think about yourself. You're like, well, the time and distance between us, should I hold the door? Right?
Yeah.
That's a curb moment. Okay. I watched the hostess walk into the bathroom wearing his apron. And I damn near waited for him to come out and say, excuse me, did you just walk in with your apron? What are you doing there, bud? I knew it was a gut up, but I wanted to do a curb moment. So I'm gonna give that Outback a 1 star for hygiene. I'm not even joking. This happened.
Well, I can imagine like you confront him and he's like, it's like a piss bib. It's so I don't get to pee all over my pants instead.
Oh my god! I don't get my pants wet, bro. Dude, if he said that, I would have been like, okay, respect, turn around.
I think I would have just been like just so disappointed if he said that.
I told the person I was with there that because they didn't see it, and they legitimately, I thought they wanted to leave. They were not having it. They were a little bit of a germaphobe, and I swear to God, they were like, for a second, they're like, I might just fucking leave. And I'm like, it's a hostess. It's okay, because I already ordered food. I don't want to go anywhere else.
Is that the same guy that brought out the bloomin' onion?
Yeah, no, legitimately, bro, that was gross. And one thing at Tavern we always at least pride ourselves on, at least in the kitchen, and we would harass other coworkers, is you wash your hands and never do that. You never take your apron in there ever, for not even one reason. Like, that's just basic. Anyway, that was bothering me. That was a little bit of a curb moment. Would you guys have said anything in the comments? Drop it below. I just like to buy my own business, but I thought it would have been really funny. Like, I just stood right outside the bathroom and be like, what you got there? What you got going on there? You know, but I'm not an asshole. So.
When I worked at a pizza place, I used to work with this guy, and I hated there'd be 2 people closing, and I used to hate closing with him because, well, he was just gross. Like, he wouldn't wash his hands enough, and even though, trust me, I've told him multiple times he needs to be washing his hands, whatever, I just kind of gave up, because even, like, the managers and stuff wouldn't listen to me. They just kind of let him do whatever. Except for this one evening, some customer called him out on his bullshit, dude. And I was like in the back, like, yes, like just listening, like, yes, be mean to him. And basically what he had done is he had just got done ringing up the order, handling cash, didn't wash his hands, didn't put gloves on, goes over, starts making his pizza barehanded.
Nah.
And immediately the guy's like, did you make my pizza without gloves on? Did you even wash your hands? You just handled money. And I didn't even say anything. I was like in the back and I was just listening. And he's like, oh, yep, you caught me. Sorry. I'll remake it and I'll go wash my hands, whatever. But still, it's just like, even after that, he would just continue to just not wash his hands or not even wear gloves. It's like, for me, dude, when I was working in food, if gloves were an option, I always had gloves and I still washed my hands.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there was a place I think I worked, some pizza place, they didn't require gloves. I was like, I want gloves. You're going to order gloves. They're like, okay. Because, like, it's not that, like, I don't know. I just feel like bare hands on food, even if your hands are washed,
I hate it. I don't understand it, and people at Tavern did it a lot because they're like, oh, I don't like the feeling of gloves. I think it literally should be a legal requirement that you have some type of vinyl gloves or something on because it's fucking disgusting.
And if you're allergic to vinyl, whatever those, or not vinyl, or latex, vice versa, like if you're allergic to one of those, skip the others.
There's literally hundreds of types of gloves. Pick one, you jackass. And also, embarrassing. You're an adult. I shouldn't have to tell you to wash your hands. It should just be wash your hand. Like, I see people blow their nose and not wash their hand. That kind of bothered me, dog. Like, go wash your hands, bro. Like, honestly, don't be
Didn't you say like 10 casts ago that you'll just go fucking piss and not wash your hands though?
When? Did I say that?
A fellow viewer, someone go put in the chat which gutterball that was. One of our loyal listeners.
Okay. So here, let me break this down for you. This is what I do. I do wash my hands, but I have read studies that I don't use the hair dryer the air dryer because the air dryer causes more germs. It's like a study I read on it that it has more germs than hand towels and it spreads more.
What are people putting their hands up in there?
Yeah, like, literally shit like that, pipe? Bro. Yeah, because the germs go up and all of that shit, so it's bad.
Yeah, everyone knows germs rise, just like heat.
I don't know if you're being a jokester or you're being a little funny guy. Being a little dick. Hey, I wash my hands, buddy, all right? It's always got some hand sanitizer or something on it. But if I'm at home and I take a piss, I'll wash my hands. There ain't no reason for that. I ain't touch nothing.
Oh, yeah, at home it doesn't matter. But yeah, like in public or like obviously you're working 100%.
One thing I don't like at work is we have like, our phones and walkies and holders and knives, and people just bring those into the bathroom. That I ain't about, dog.
Yeah, that's weird.
Really not a fan of that.
Oh,
yeah,
I dropped the walkie-talkie in the toilet. I ruined it.
Oh, I ruined it.
It's dripping wet. You just put it back on the charger and put somebody else's name tag on it.
Nah, they don't. Nah, they don't know about that. I might have ruined a couple phones and a couple walkies that they don't know about. They're like, oh, well, you had a phone signed out 49. What happened to it? I don't know, man. It just evaporated into pieces. I just don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, no,
it's like sitting behind a lean cuisine, just frozen solid.
Frozen solid.
It's like
I've done that before. Yeah. Did I ever tell you someone put it in a baler and it popped? It was like and sizzled.
Yeah, the lithium battery. Jesus, that's dangerous.
Yeah, it's dangerous. And all that cardboard. That was pretty funny. Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm doing pretty good, pretty chill.
Let's go put 20 cans of spray paint in the baler.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, it'd be pretty funny, bro. So yeah, they'll fucking. You're a menace. You can't do that.
Blow the baler up. It'd ruin it.
Yeah, no, it really would. It fucking totally would. Somebody on the baler, they have chains to raise the platform, right? And the night crew somehow snapped the chains in half by the tension, and it like
what the
whipped.
Hell?
Yeah, like these really thick,
Someone got split in half, like a live leak moment.
Yeah, bro, dude. Okay, so when you have to tie a bale, you use wire. I've seen wires nearly scrape my coworkers in the face, and it won't kill you. Well, it's gonna scar you up like fucking Palpatine or some shit. You're gonna get a good gash on your face. Yeah. My coworker Teddy, he's like a short Korean dude. He's gone now. He's like 5'4", dude. I watched the wire just go right. Oh man, it had to be at least 2 inches from his face. Just go up near his. What it just split him in two. And he was just like, oh my god. Shout out Teddy. Okay, that would have been funny if you got fucked up. No man, it would have been pretty funny.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That would have been really cool to see. I bet you've never seen anything like that before. What's the worst injury you've ever seen, you
You'd
think,
be
Paul?
puking. Oh, you
No,
wanna
I
know?
don't think so.
It's
Yeah,
still
I
to
do.
this day the worst one I've ever witnessed, and I was there. I had witnessed it, like, I turned my back as it was happening, kind of deal. So I was working at a Papa Murphy's, famous take and bake chain. I'm not going to name the names of the employees. Let's call them Jessica and the other one, I don't know, Mary.
Almond.
Okay? Almond,
Like
yeah.
almond.
So at Papa Murphy's, all the ingredients are usually, they're fresh. Like we chop them up, whatever. Yeah, peppers, mushrooms. Like they don't come prepackaged and already chopped. We get those items, then we chop them ourselves. And so we have a Hobart mixer, and that's what we use to mix the dough. But like people out there that work in a bakery or something, you know that those Hobarts have multiple attachments you can get. You can even get a thing that can shred mushrooms or other vegetables, right? And we use it. We had this thing that would shred mushrooms. You could you'd put it on the front of the Hobart, and you would drop the whole mushrooms in and shred them. You'd have a bin below for it to catch them all. And so the person that was gonna be chopping the mushrooms or putting them in the shredder and setting it all up was Mary. So she was putting all the parts on. And Jessica, not thinking, checking that all the parts were on and that Mary was done, goes and turns the Hobart on as Mary's hands are... What?
They're right next to each other. How does this happen?
I don't know. Mary's hands were inside the shredder part where the mushroom thing where she's putting it on when she turned the Hobart mixer on, dude. Okay? I'm on the other table, like literally 3 feet from this, just chopping onions or something, and I'm crying just from the onions. I'm like, oh, and then I turn and I hear, ah! And then I just look and she pulls her hands out, dude, and they are lacerated, like all across. Like one of their fingers, dude, was hanging on by a thread. Like it was, I was like 15,
bro.
dude.
I not heard about this.
I was gonna vomit. It was only one finger that was so fucked up, and then the owner came immediately. He was there within 15 minutes, brought her to the hospital, and they managed to save it. They stitched the finger back on. It actually looked really good, pretty normal. It was clean cuts. It wasn't serrated cuts because it was a mushroom shredder, and mushrooms are soft, so it didn't need a crazy tearing blade. It was just a smooth blade. It was this one blade, and but yeah, I got her across basically 4 fingers on one hand. Took almost her entire index finger off, and then across 3 fingers on the other, really deep cuts. So she had to get stitches, and then obviously the boss paid for it all. But that the Jessica girl that did it didn't really end up getting in trouble. She didn't even get fired.
Yeah, no, I was actually about to say, what is the retaliation in your mind for something like that? Because first of all, I don't know why you had the 2 blondes change it, because apparently they can't be trusted to do anything. Because
I don't know.
I just don't know. Mixer, you're right next to the person. Hey,
yeah,
my hands are in it.
The switches on the side, and it's just did you just assume?
Wasn't intentional?
No, she swore that she thought she had heard and saw Mary put the last part on, didn't know her hands were still in attaching the blade or whatever, or attaching whatever, the handle part to push the mushrooms down.
Where did she go? Oh yeah, I mean, I thought Mary was done, fucking around, so I turned it on. Yeah,
she's got a stick. She's
ridiculous.
It. Yeah,
these people are fucking stupid. The 2 of them, they're both equally
That's
retarded.
Probably the goriest thing I've ever seen in my life.
That's awful.
With my own eyes, and I was pale. I felt so sick seeing what I saw. And what's sad is Mary was the nicest person there. The nicest person that we worked with. She was the assistant manager there at the time. She always vouched for everybody. She was really good, hard worker. But yeah, that was how about you? What's the nastiest thing you've seen?
Well, hold on. First of all, tie back to what is the retaliation in your mind? What do you think needs to happen to this? Let's say they do it to you. Put yourself in. You got your hand shredded because your dumb coworker right next to you turned the mixer on. What do you want to happen to them? Because I think some type of fire in, or maybe they get lacerated themselves. We're doing 7 cuts for the Continental or something.
Here's the deal.
Get at them.
Here's the deal. I know that Jessica, the one that flipped the switch, was a huge pothead. And she's known for coming to work high all the time, but they didn't care. It's a fucking pizza place.
No one cares.
And I think she should have been probably drug tested, and then that led to fire. I think she should have been fired. That is so such bad negligence to injure a coworker that bad. I'm surprised. I mean, Mary didn't come from money, but I'm surprised there wasn't some type of lawsuit. But I think Paul, the who was the owner at the time of the place, like ended up paying all her hospital bills and like causing nothing to happen. Yeah, and
I think some type of physical injury from me to them is what's gonna happen.
Well, yeah, everybody wants that, but that's not fucking legal necessarily.
We're not illegal. I already got my money. Where the hands? The hands healed. It's been 5 years, and now I'm waiting in the parking lot in a black truck in a black hood, and I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna fucking what's her name? Tanya Hardin. I'm gonna hit her like Tanya Hardin.
It's not like her hands weren't scarred either. It's like she almost would have had grounds to sue of like what's that thing like pain and suffering. Like she could have probably gotten she could have gotten so much money probably if she did sue. But she was also such a nice lady, and I really do think it was a total accident. How that happens, I don't know, but also that lady that flipped the switch, I know, was probably stoned out of her gourd and just wasn't thinking, and but still, like, I don't know. Yes, I agree. If there was some type of retaliation, why don't you put your, like have you ever seen those tomato dicers?
Yeah,
you could, and those blades are sharp and they're squared. Yeah, put your hand in that for me, and I could slam it really quick. You just cube her fucking hand.
You cube him, dude. That'd be so fucked up. You're just fucking screaming. That's brutal. See, that's reality. That's fine. If Mary did that, I bet she'd be much happier in her life. But goriest thing I've seen, honestly, is just nothing more than people slicing their arms and fingers open using like a bandsaw or like knives. Can't really think of anything too messy. I saw a kid at a skate park slam and hit his head, and he got knocked out from that. Like knocked out for like a fucking minute, dude. Dude was fucked up. Very young kid.
Head versus concrete doesn't usually go very well.
Nah, concrete always win. I don't know if head has won yet.
I've been thinking about skateboarding a lot lately. I've been wanting to get back into it, but I'm old and I pay for my own medical bills. The last thing I need is getting hurt, but it's fun, man.
I just don't have the want to learn how to skate, but it is cool. Maybe I'll come back to injuries because I kind of asked you not having one in my own head, but I feel like I'll come back and think of one where I'm like, oh yeah, that person got really fucked up. But we should do song of the week. Oh yeah. Uh-oh.
What?
Oh, you froze. You're back. Oh. Am I back?
Yeah, no, you've been fine.
All right, everything's good. All right, we're gonna do song of the week, ladies and gentlemen. For those who are OG listeners, know that we kind of do a song of the week, something that's resonating with us, whether it be the beat, the lyrics, or just maybe it's a vibe, you know. Paul, what do you got for us this week? What's your song?
So when I work out, typically I'll just listen to podcasts or like old PKAs or something because, I find that music typically messes up my breathing. Like, I don't know why my mind, I'll stop focusing on breathing. I kind of start listening to the song and then it messes up my breathing and it just kind of wrecks my whole routine. So, but lately though, when I'm getting towards the end of my workout, like when I know I have like 2 more exercises to do or just a few reps, I'll just turn on some metal. And lately, I've been listening to almost every time the start of like my last minute push or last, I guess, 10-minute push for my workouts is, Go to Hell by Megadeth, which was on the Bill and Ted's Bonus Journey movie soundtrack. I don't know. I just like that song, but that's a good, I think it was made for it. Yeah. But that song, Go to Hell by Megadeth, I don't know. It's a good pump up. Like it's got a good, it builds well.
Staircase song.
Yeah.
Really well.
Yeah. Exactly.
Got the heavy bass mirroring the heavy guitar, you know, ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
And then it gets up. Lyrics are really good. They mock Metallica on that one. It's always good. Always good Metallica diss. It's a good song. I like that.
I don't know. It's such a corny line, but my favorite, just the way it's delivered, is my only friend's a goat with a 666 between his horns. It's just
I knew you were gonna
laid
say
down so well.
With 666 between its horns.
Yeah.
Dave Mustaine, dude, that's just shit. I like that song a lot. Actually, that's one of the first songs. When I started listening to Megadeth like a couple years ago, that got me into them really because it's like listening to the Bill and Ted soundtrack, which I have on CD like over there.
You do?
So yeah, that thing's sick, bro. I think I got it on register day for like $1 or something.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, that's just cool. I like that. I like when bands should do more songs or just movies. I guess Suicide Boys just did one for Fast and Furious, which is kind of cool. We need to see more of that. My song of the week. I got the Notorious B.I.G. the Cookin' Soul remix, Somebody's Got to Die.
I think I've heard
that. The Cookin' Soul one?
Yeah.
Or just
OG? Just the OG.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, the OG one's good, but I've been getting into Cookin' Soul. For those that don't know, Cookin' Soul does remixes and also some original things with artists. It's always like a slower kind of piano type beat. He has a Christmas album with MF Doom, and he also does one with Biggie, and they're both really good. But this remix I've been listening to is Somebody's Got to Die. And he always has, it's like an aesthetic kind of watch video. He has like Yakuza gangsters like killing each other in the background from a movie while this plays. And it's kind of like a slow piano. It's not even doom doom, like from what you expect from a Biggie beat. Literally not that. It's literally a piano just playing like ding, ding, something nice, something classical. Biggie's rapping over it, and of course Cooking Soul just makes it work, So if you don't know, check out Cooking Soul because it's really good. It's a really good vibe song. But Paul, I wanted to tie back on the listen to music while working out. Yeah, I do find that to be a problem, getting distracted by the music, especially when I'm grooving to the song. I'll be like, oh, now I'm grooving, and I won't even realize, I'm not working out now because the song's that hard, So usually I pick songs I don't know well or something completely new. So like I don't like just tone it out, because if I have a song I like, I just generally want to listen to it.
Yeah.
But I saw a video on TikTok, just scrolling. Maybe it was someone else's. I don't know. Maybe it was just it wasn't TikTok. It was Instagram. And somebody said you should hit the heavy bag without music so you can focus on form. And I'm like, Psh, I need music though. Fuck you. And then I started doing it. And now when I hit the heavy bag, I never put on music because it just distracts me. And I didn't realize how much it did until I turned it off. So that's a good thing. If you're in the gym and you're listening to music, turn it off one time and see how you like it. I honestly think you'll like it more, ladies and gentlemen.
That's why I don't like rumbles, because the music's so freaking
dude,
loud,
it's so distracted.
Dude.
I know the sound system was broken when I was there, but my ears legitimately started to hurt. I was like, this is a little much. Because you're right. Your breathing does get affected, especially when the bass is so heavy in that place. I could feel it in my feet, and that's not cool, dog. That hurt. So yeah, turn that shit down. Turn it off. Actually, I think you just do it for self-conscious people, which is valid, and I guess it does motivate me to a certain extent, obviously. But yeah, it's my song of the week. That's all I really got for that.
Hell yeah,
I have
man.
10 more.
No,
those.
I think podcasts probably aren't good either, and I've also plateaued with my running of a mile. Like, I don't think I can really get past 7 minutes and 30 seconds, but I just got to keep doing it, and I think I'll get. It's just like I tried to. What was that?
I said Rome wasn't built in a day.
Yeah, well, I was just impressed with my progress going from 12 minutes to down to 9 minutes in a week, and then now 9 to 7:30. So I don't know.
You hit the plateau. Well, dude. Let me put it in perspective.
I just want to hit 7. That's all I care about. I don't be running 5 minute, 6 minute miles out here, but I think 7's a good number to be able to do.
So I started that working out in May, and one of the things I focused on was planks. Now in May, I could only do a 30-second plank. Last week, well, actually a couple days ago, I've been doing 10 minutes. What do you mean? Both. I do like this, and then I rotate. But each time I rotate, I usually do 1 minute here, 30 seconds here, 30 seconds there, 1 minute there, and then I do that. I did a 10-minute plank a couple days ago, but now just as a warm up, because I don't do a 10-minute every day, that's just like a hardcore thing. Yeah. I do a 3-minute, and I can do that just no problem, and I can do it legitimately just straight like this, and just showing that I had to build from 30 seconds to 3 minutes over the course of like 5 months, and I just kept doing it over and over. Now I probably could have gone quicker if I focused on it completely, but I didn't do it every day, obviously.
Are you working out every single day?
No, 6 days. I didn't work out today. 6 days a week. And I
How
do,
long are your workouts typically?
2 hours, hour and a half. I always do. Personally, I like to do a 15-minute warm up where I'm just like kind of getting my neck movement, heads and shit, legs moving. 15 minutes of that, and then I do 45 minutes of a core. And that includes Russian twists, plank, squats.
Damn, you do a 45-minute core exercise?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, push-ups. I do nickel and dimes, pull-ups and the push-ups, and I lift a little bit too.
I've been doing pull-ups lately. Now I added that to my routine. Okay, they're hard. Pull-ups. Do you do the hands in?
Yeah, I have to do it on the beams in the garage, so I have to jump up. So I do it on the hands, and sometimes mostly I'm like this. I do a lot of hanging ones where I just kind of bring my feet up, which is good. But then I do 4 rounds of shadow boxing. Then I do 8 to 12 rounds in the heavy bag, usually 12 rounds. So then I probably caps out about
how many minutes a round?
3-minute round, 30-second intervals, and I do 4 sets. I do 1 set of 4. And then I take like a 3-minute rest between the next set because if I can't just do 8, I've done 8 rounds, but it's brutal. But yeah, that's just my workout, and it works for me.
That's cool.
It's I've been eating like shit, and I haven't gained any weight or lost any, and it's perfect. I mean, I'm okay weight, so
With me,
definitely go
it's
for it.
like I don't even care about losing the weight now. I just wish I could build muscle, but I already know my problem. It's I really
And eat
need
more.
to I need to eat more, and it needs to be better things. And I think I need to, like, I've been stacking on weight. Like I was goblet squatting with like a 20-pound barbell, and now I'm doing a 45-pound or not barbell,
Mhm,
dumbbell. Now I can do a
mhm.
45-pound dumbbell, like goblet
Oh,
squats.
nice.
And like I've also started bench pressing. It's kind of embarrassing. Like I started
Mm,
out with like the easy 40-pound barbell. I'm like, let's just see how many reps I can do. And then like I went to 50 and 60, and now I'm at 80. But
mm,
I'm slowly making my way. I mean, eventually I have to actually go on the bench press and use the actual big barbell, not just the weighted ones that they have there,
mhm.
but everyone starts somewhere, and like I think what part of the reason that's things that scares people from working out is like, well, where do I start? It's embarrassing to start with 10-pound dumbbells. For certain exercises, bro, I was using 10-pound, like lateral raises, where you put the dumbbells up
Mhm.
like this. Those are hard to do. Like I started with
Death Star
10s.
delts. I do
Yeah.
25s, Death Star delts. Yeah,
Nice.
no, those are brutal.
I'm only to 15 now on lateral raises. Well, vertical
Fucking
and lateral. I
brutal.
think vertical's a little
I do
more
both.
brutal than
I do
lateral.
too.
I think
Yeah,
lateral's a
no,
little
both.
easier. But I'm at 15 now, and then like I was doing bicep curls when I started with like 12s, and now I'm up to 20 or 30s. I'm doing 30s now. So
That's pretty good. See,
yeah.
I'm not really increasing weight because I'm not at a gym right now. I just kind of my own shit. But I don't want to. I just want to remain what I have. I don't want to get bulked, if that makes
Oh,
sense.
I
I
want to
just
get
want to.
huge.
I know you do. I just want to lean out, and I just think you need to eat more and keep doing what you're doing, and you're gonna get huge. You're gonna be a menace,
Yeah.
in the boxing. Do a bulk. I think after the holidays and shit, you're doing a bulk. All right,
I
like
thought
getting
I
on that.
I thought I should do a cut first, or do I not want to do that?
I don't know. I do whatever you want. Talk to Derek.
I was
But
gonna
I would
cut
do.
because I feel like that's gonna be what sucks, and that's gonna determine if I could actually stick with something. Is like
Mm.
really do that cut.
Well, then you kind of said the opposite then, because you just said you wanted to get big. So
I
if you
do,
cut,
but I
want to
heard
get
that
big.
I want to get cut to see what muscle I got there. Some of it's covered by
Mm,
fat. I just want to see what I'm working with before I bulk.
that's
I don't know.
valid.
Does that make sense? Like
I kind of get what you're saying. I think
it's
there's
like
something to that
it's
scientific
like
value.
I don't know. I want to like shed the fat first and be like, oh, okay, this is what I'm working with, and then like, okay, now I can eat a shit ton, this, and then do all these
Mm,
workouts.
yeah, I know for sure.
I really
Okay.
want the. Do you use an app for logging your workouts or tracking them at all? Because I really wish they had.
I
Because I
know what
use
I'm
the
doing.
RP Diet app, but I wish I had the RP Hypertrophy app on Android. It's only on iPhone, which is
Mm.
fucking stupid. But I wish I had it on Android because that's what I have, and I would use that app. I want to try that. It looks really good. Like it's basically like RP Diet's a diet coach and tells you what to do and tells you you're a fucking idiot. The RP Hypertrophy app is one for doing workouts, and it literally stacks the weight for you and just tells you what you should be doing.
See, you're probably doing it the easier way, but I prefer to make it hard on myself and just kind of go free form at it. And whatever I'm doing is working, so I'm just gonna keep doing that. But maybe
Yeah.
I should look into that.
Well,
I just try to hit my protein and my macros,
I get you. What I
micronutrients.
do right now is I'm not doing anything as far as diet, but I'm doing for workouts other than like the Rumble boxing is I just have a Google spreadsheet with exercises,
Mhm.
and then sets or reps or sets, reps, and then like what weight I started at and what the current weight I'm on now that I've stepped up. Like on some exercises I've increased the weight or increased the time if it's like a plank or whatever. um
Mhm.
and then like I have two sets of workouts. I have one that's called beginner, that's just like it's kind of like all around full body, and then the other one's strength, and it's mainly upper body, but it does have some lower body involved, and I do each of those once a week or sometimes 3 times a week.
Oh, okay. That's not bad. Yeah, I have mine written on my boxing glove.
That works.
I couldn't find
I don't
anything
know,
to
we
write
should
it on.
probably stop talking about fitness because feel like
Yeah.
we talk about it a little too
Yeah.
much, but
Literally half the cast. I can't even believe you guys. I was watching Gutterball, and you guys talked about things I don't like. I'm talking about whatever I want, bitch. Fuck you. Fuck you.
um
You don't come on Gutterball. Fuck you guys. I'm just kidding. I
what
love
I,
my fans. All
here's
5
what
of
I'd
them.
like to talk about. Do you remember that old sleeper vanilla PC I had?
I do not. The one that you played RuneScape on in 1990?
No, dude. So before this computer I built, I bought a case probably
Oh, that
4 years ago, a vanilla, like it was like a perfect Windows XP case from like late 90s, early 2000s, wherever it was, or maybe it was like a Windows 2000 case. That I remember the sticker on it for Windows, or what was on it. I gutted the whole thing. I drilled some fan holes with the hole saw in, and put a 1080 Ti at the time in there, and put like an i7, and basically built a sleeper. The only thing you could tell is it had a blue light on the bottom that kind of made it look like a gamer PC. Other than you could kind of see the radiator at the top through the hole I drilled. Anyways, that PC has been sitting for some time. Like when I built this one, it became a media PC where I just kind of hooked it up in the living room, and you use it to like watch things like on the computer, or like some very rarely play a game in the living room.
Hopefully not illegally though.
No, not illegally. No, absolutely not. And but then I unhooked it like, I don't know, 6 months ago, and I just set it out there because I wasn't using it. So well, then Destiny's cousin comes over with his son and his daughter, and they're hanging out here, and his son's a freshman in high school, and he's a big gamer, but he's like into retro games. Like he likes GameCube. Like I let him borrow my GameCube games. He brings them back. He treats my shit really good, so I let him borrow whatever. Yeah. And he's like, oh, I've always wanted a computer. And so I talked to his dad, or Destiny's cousin Matt, and I'm like, hey man, like I know what this computer is probably worth $400 to $500. You give me $100 and he can fucking have this. Cause I just want to get rid of it too. And I'd rather someone fucking use it, like, and this kid have his first computer. Oh, that's not better than yours. And I
know it's not. I would have pissed on it.
I think the best game it could probably play like in max settings is Grand Theft Auto 5. But so like, yeah, so like it isn't going to play Cyberpunk by any means, but it's pretty close. It'll play the games he likes. Like he likes Don't Starve and Plants vs. Zombies and like retro looking games like that. You could play
those in 10-year-old PCs.
Yeah. Anyway, so I got it all wiped and set up for him, but I just kind of want to talk about it because I'm like, damn, that computer's sick because A, it's a sleeper, but B, like, I just feel like sometimes getting money out of things is nice, but when you know it's going to go to somebody that's going to really appreciate it and like use it, I feel like is worth almost a chunk of money in itself.
Yeah, you just don't care. You're just like, whatever. That's kind of how I am with like buying people shit and like buying them lunch and stuff. I'm like I don't know. It just makes you kind of feel good, It's like I got you. I don't even worry about it.
That, and it's like I feel like, at least for me, it's like you're not thinking about the money. You're thinking about like the time that you're gonna, you're gonna spend time with this person over a nice meal,
No, 100%. That is definitely it. No, that's cool. Paul's a G. What is he getting for that for Christmas, or did he already get it?
Well, that was the plan. He was like, "Don't tell Lane," which is his son's name, and I'm just like, well, or I'm just like, okay, and then he told me he's gonna come pick it up tomorrow and with him, and I'm like, oh, so does he know? Like, so I don't know. I'm just gonna give him a rundown on it and whatever, but
that's pretty dope. Pretty cool. Yeah. No.
Somehow supports Windows 11. I upgraded it.
No, that thing's fucking sick because it just looks. It is a sleeper. I like sleepers like that. I actually wanted to do that to one of my PC I have now when Paul was building it, but he said like finding a case that can fit all that shit without having to really change the inside of it. I just choked on my own spit.
Yeah.
My body's trying to kill me. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but
it is because back then, it's all good. Back then, dude, they didn't have a lot of fan holes. They maybe had 1 or 2 fan holes. They were tiny fans because computers didn't get that hot back then. Now, like all those cases were fucking boxes. Like they barely had any airflow, which is like putting the components that I put in or that you would have to put in. Like you would have to customize any case, and especially finding a case that looks nice, that's old. Everybody marks that shit. Oh, it's vintage, so it's $300 for the case, or the computer. And it's just like, yeah, but it's fucking old. Like. And all I want's the case. I'm gonna gut everything out of it.
Yeah, right. When you get like, I don't
acid
know, man.
reflux. You need some Tums?
Not that. No, I'd like a piece of something, like a piece of like a like a fly or something. I don't know, man. There's a bee. It was a big bee. I'm fine. All right. Where you get a piece of phlegm? A little piece of whatever it is. What is phlegm? What's going on with phlegm?
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure that out.
What's a gluten? That's what I want to know.
What's a what?
What's a gluten?
What's a gluten? Is that a measurement? What are we doing here? What's going on? Measure my things in glutens. Ugh. Yeah. All right, I'm good. Paul, I had a question for you. Actually, no, not really a question. Have you ever heard of Boubville? Is that a thing you've ever heard of?
Like
It's
boobs?
Boubville, not
No.
not haha Boubville, ha
No, what is
dummy. I'm just
Boubville?
kidding. Yeah. It is apparently the bootleg Bentleyville, that is now making its waves in Duluth. It's like on Second Street, and it's today and then through the weekend. And I think I'm gonna go with a couple people on some of the days. But I might go tomorrow, but I haven't decided yet because I heard parking shit and you have to walk super far. But apparently it's like a punk rock Bentleyville for adults. And kids in the morning, obviously, but at night it's adults, and they have like drag shows and metal bands, like punk bands are playing. Looks like there's like 10 bands playing like every single night. Which is pretty cool. I think I might go check that out. I haven't heard about it before. Apparently last year from people I talked to who went to it was literally just some dude in his fucking basement like made it. But it was like a big thing, and now they got a little bit more funding, and pretty fun. It was pretty chill. I don't know why they call it Boubville, but maybe just get attention. But I never heard of that before. I was just curious.
I never heard of it either. No, that sounds
Yeah.
kind of actually. You mentioned it. I think I saw something someone shared on Facebook about that. I didn't know it was called that, but I remember seeing like, oh, it's Metal Bentleyville or something, and I was like, what? In Duluth? Like what?
I'm opening the pit. I'm gonna wear my big team sesh coat in the middle of the fucking snow, just knocking people over.
Oh, Jack, you sent me that thing on Instagram or something the other day, or something, or somewhere. You texted. I was busting where like Larry King's interviewing the drag queen, and that made me laugh so hard.
Oh yeah, her face. Say look now.
Yeah. Well, I want to know kind of like, can you explain to me like the drag queen thing? Like it's usually some of the time it's straight guys, right?
It's all drag queens are all, well, they don't have to be straight, but drag queens are males. They're not female.
Yeah.
They just like to dress up as women. They don't identify as that. They're male 100%.
They just like to dress up like that, like temporarily. It's not like a permanent
as a show.
thing.
Yeah. Typically they do drag shows, which is it's almost different from trans in the sense that trans isn't trying to play a character of a woman. They just want to be a woman, versus drag is kind of playing that character of a woman with the over what do you call it, like overzealous outfits and makeup and eyes. I mean, look at that one girl on Larry David. Look at her eyes and shit, how different. Like trans people wouldn't do that because that's just like flaunting and kind of peacocking, which is fine, no one cares. But yeah, very big difference, and Larry David was trying to understand that, and a lot of people were dunking on him in the comments, but he's
fucking 90 or something.
He doesn't get it. He doesn't. He's learning, and he wasn't trying to be offensive. A lot of people are like, because Larry David was like, he goes, it was Larry David's interview with Trixie. It was just a little side excerpt we saw on YouTube or Instagram for the viewers. He's interviewing a drag queen, and he goes, do you ever feel transgender, or would you be transgender? And the people in the comments were like, as if transgender is a choice. As it's a choice. It's like, he's just asking, man. Like, just back off of him. But that video is very funny because the very obvious drag queen,
his reaction, he's like,
oh no, he's like, no. So she goes, I'm male, I'm 100% male all the time, looking kind of like me but not as sexy. She's like, I feel male all the time, and he's like, do I look male? Larry David, no. No. Which I just think is so funny. It's great. That is a funny one. But yeah, drag queens are very different. Usually weirdos. I'm just kidding. I'm just being a fucking asshole. I'm just dunking on him.
I don't know why I nodded. I don't know.
Yeah, why did you nod? I was looking at them.
Maybe I'm offensive, I guess.
Roll that back, Jamie. Roll it back 10 minutes.
Hey, I have no problem with the drag stuff as long as kids aren't involved.
Exactly, and that's the problem. I gotta be careful where I step in this.
Why?
Stop indoctrinating our youth. No, I don't. You're right. I really don't need to be careful. Stop indoctrinating our youth. We talked about it. I don't want to go super into it now. Actually, there's been a huge overturn in Utah that they overturned the ban on gender affirming care for kids. Pretty much like reassignment surgery and shit. It was banned for a while, and I think it's the big thing that it's unbanned now, which I don't know. I don't know what to think about that. But yeah, I in my opinion, wholeheartedly, there is some sexual proclivity towards drag 100% in a lot of people. But I know also drag people who legitimately don't have a sexual proclivity towards it, and they just like doing it. Like they don't.
It's like furries, man. It's like furries. Like
Some of them do and some of them don't, and it's extremely hard to differentiate between the two. So you might as well just lump them into one. There's 1,000% furries that don't do it for sexual. Really, I know for a fact there is.
I don't know, 5%. Man. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 5%, but pretty much all of it's for 5%. Sexual reasons. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that's bad. You know, do whatever you want. But just to involve the kids in it is a bad idea. There shouldn't be kids at drag shows, in my opinion. Just because I don't know, it's just weird. It's just really weird to me because typically drag shows are in very high sexual environments or something. You know what I mean? Kind of like that. Yeah, and it's just there's just no part of it. And they should stick to bars. Do drag shows at bars.
Yeah,
that's it. You know, I don't want to open this can of worms.
Yeah. Have you been watching any TV lately or anything?
Any TV or anything? I actually just watched no, I've been watching The Sopranos. I turned that on in the background. This person I've been hanging with my new friends, they love The Sopranos too, so that's really cool. So we watch a lot of that. I just watched Mary and Max again. Really, really good film. Check that one out if you guys haven't seen it. Philip Seymour Hoffman. It's an anime. I'm a sucker for claymation and Philip Seymour Hoffman, so I'm like sold. Seen it about a year ago. Very sad. It's based on a true story. Essentially, in the 60s, this 10-year-old girl randomly writes to this autistic man has Asperger's. And this is in the 70s, so they didn't know what it was. Just writes at him, wants to be a pen pal because she doesn't have any friends. It's a real life story. And he just starts responding. He's like in his 50s. He doesn't have any. He's not a sexual freak. He's just, like he's at Asperger's. He has no idea what he's doing pretty much. And they start a correspondence, and it's like a sad story between the two of them. Very interesting. I just a sucker for claymation and Philip Seymour Hoffman, and he develops a really good role. It breaks down mental health, homosexuality, homophobia, addiction, abuse, neglect. It wraps all that in, makes you feel really sad for these clay characters. Which I think if a movie with clay characters can make you sad, it's like the voice actors are really good and the narrative's really good. So that's a really good movie. Check that one out if you haven't seen it. It's kind of like a, how do I say? Wait, hold on.
No.
Again, movie. It's one of those movies. Well, that's a long enough break. How long do you want me to go? 5 seconds? 10 seconds?
You shouldn't be saying it at all.
What? Don't tell me what I can and can't say. All right, come on, man. You can say all the things you want to say. Just split it up. Split them up. Anyway, that's what I've been watching. Nothing much more than that. Seinfeld too. That's it. What you been watching?
Destiny and I have been hooked on a show, and it's funny because funny how often we bring up other podcasts on our podcast, but we like podcasts. Kyle on the PKA podcast, he's always got movies, TV shows he's watching, and he brought up the show Reacher a few weeks ago on Prime, or it's on Prime, and it has the big guy from Blue Mountain State. I've seen all of Blue Mountain State. That was it was a funny TV show, and I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. But then Dana White put out a post, and because Dana White doesn't promote shit, like he has nothing to do with Amazon. He was just like, oh, I really love the Reacher show. The second season comes out literally tomorrow is when it first airs.
No shit. Yeah, I thought it was canceled.
And no, we started watching it. Like, why would that get canceled? It's very well written. Anyways. We're like, I don't even know how far through the first season yet, but we're hooked on it. So check out Reacher on Amazon Prime. It's like an investigative show. It's better than Jack Ryan, in my opinion, where Jack Ryan's slow and a little too detailed and not enough action.
Oh, wait, I thought the other, who's Jack Ryan?
Jack Ryan's the
other Reacher?
Krasinski, dude from he plays the guy named Jack Ryan. It's a show called Jack Ryan. Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the other Reacher, the Tom Cruise Reacher, because there's two of them.
Oh yeah, it's all confusing.
Well, this Reacher, because Paul, I've told you to watch this a long time ago, by the way. So you've been lacking. I've actually seen the whole thing. Dad's seen it too. It's good. I really, really like it. He plays the book Reacher, where he's actually physically intimidated and smart.
Yeah, he's massive.
The only complaint I have with the show, and this is one that Woody'd had, but I already had this before Woody, not when he said it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Jack Reacher just eats whatever he wants and is fucking bullshit. You can't eat fries and cakes and cookies by the fucking plateful and it'd be that big. That's not how that works, dude.
He's just completely jacked. And I love in every scene they have an excuse to have his shirt off, like that scene where he's like gonna sleep in the hotel. They purposely have the blanket down below his abs so you can just see how fucking ridiculously jacked he is.
How far are you? Because I don't want to spoil anything. I don't know what you've seen.
I just got to the part where Finley broke into Kleiner's and found his throat ripped out. I literally just watched that episode, so I still got a bit left.
I can't remember. Okay, I'm not even gonna say anything because I don't want to spoil. But there is some really cool fight scenes in that I like.
They're pretty fun. I like the prison scene at the very beginning.
Okay, I didn't know if you saw that. Yeah,
well, that's at the very beginning of the show. He's like, who's this big redwood motherfucker? And then he's just like, and then he fucking the elbows, dude, are so violent. The elbows,
yeah. He's just like, I'm gonna give you the count of 3, 1, and he just grabs him and boom, boom, boom. That was it. And yeah, no, it was pretty cool. The showers. Yeah, I forgot it is at the beginning of the name.
There's an excessive use of elbows in that show. Like he uses so many elbows and knees. Yeah. Well, it's like very practical. Like it's like what Joe Rogan said. He's like, "See, you can hit hard like that, but I can hit way harder." Or like, no, it's like or something like that. He's like, yeah, he's like, see, you can hit hard like that, but I can hit way harder like that. Yeah. Fucking boom, yeah.
That's why the 12 to 6 is fucking, should be legal, boom. Or yeah, he does the leg thing too.
Yeah,
you don't want to hit with this. You want to hit with this right here. He's fucking, yeah, I love that. That's so good when he does a little impressions. But yeah, no, Reacher is the GOAT. Good shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I've been really watching. Paul, the weather's been kind of like nuts lately, at least. So for us,
El we're in the Midwest. Nino.
I don't know what that is.
I think there's a hurricane or something in the ocean. Yeah, I think it might be I think it's called El Nino. I don't know. I'm just like call it El Nino.
Someone I was talking to today told me about it. I'm like, what are you talking about?
But people say that's what's causing the warmer weather this season, or the lack of snow and just the the warmth we're getting up here in Minnesota. Because right now, I can look outside, Jack. There is no snow on the ground anymore. It was 52 today here.
It was fucking 50 today.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Fucking insane. For December 14th.
People are saying we might not have snow on Christmas.
I don't think we will. Why would you want to have snow on Christmas? No, it's like concerningly warm. You ever it's like shove it in my face how warm it is. No, I like it. I really like that. It's like this. It just everyone's so chill about it, but I'm going outside and I'm like, fuck's are we is this end days type shit? Like, should I be like worried about frogs raining from the sky or something? Because damn, bro, it's fucking weird. And let El Nino spin. Let that baby take that baby around a couple times. We got all winter, dog. Go ahead, dude. Honestly, think about it.
If this is any indication of like the planet getting warmer, though, it would be a good idea for me to buy that house up north, though, because it's going to be worth a lot of money.
Well, obviously, it's going to be a tropical subclimate by the time we're fucking 50, Paul. It's gonna be the place to be, right here.
Yeah.
It's like in fucking what do you call it? The Day After Tomorrow. Everyone below this line is fucking dead. That's how it's gonna be, bro. You have to be above it. It'd be good. No, that's wild.
Do you think southern United States or South America is going to be uninhabitable after like a certain amount of years? Do you think that's going to happen?
Well, I mean, yeah, just naturally the Earth is going to evolve like it did before, just like things were underwater before they weren't, right?
Because isn't it pretty consistent? Yeah, it's pretty consistent like throughout the Earth's livelihood as we know it, that it warms up, it gets really warm, and then it gets really cold, like almost abruptly, like over like we have
we have ice age.
We have an ice age, yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of things happening, did you see the sun had a major solar flare a couple days ago?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, so it's pretty sick. For those that don't know, I think it's you can kind of look it up yourselves, because I'm not gonna break down a solar flare when I'm just stupid and I don't know what I'm talking about. But apparently it's an X-class solar flare, which is like, so they have like a 1 through 9 ranking system, 9 being the highest. X can go above that. So this one is thought to be like X45. So it's like off the scale of what we can measure. It's the biggest one since 2017. And there's video of it too. Go look that up if you want to see a solar flare. It's really, really cool.
Yeah.
But I didn't know this before, but solar flares can cause aurora borealis, northern lights, and they're going to be seen in as far as South New England, which is like never happened before. That's
crazy.
Far, bro. Just from this. And luckily, it didn't destroy everything, because solar flares
wipe out
and
everything.
It's happened before. Literally destroy everything. Like all electronic devices will be wiped completely, and you can't do shit about it. And that's one fear we legitimately need to worry about. Because this is the X45. What if we get like X, like I don't know, like an X60 or something, we might be fucked, bro. It could wipe out a lot of shit, and that'd be the end of days as we know it. Death by solar flare, you know? Might creep up on you. But I've been into fucking what do you call it? Space shit lately. So
Yeah.
Oh, last night in Duluth, you could see Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn all out at once. And normally you can't.
That's cool.
I couldn't see them for the longest time because I always look at night.
Speaking of End of Days, you ever seen that Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, End of Days? I have it on DVD.
I think I have. The one
he fights the devil. Everybody's getting possessed.
Oh, no, that's a different one.
See that one? Yeah, he fights the devil. Everyone's getting possessed.
I've heard of that.
Like the freaking detective cop like comes out, like used to be his friend, points the gun at him. He's like, easy with the hardware. And she starts fucking dumping at him with a fucking pistol. It's pretty funny. I don't know. That movie's ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. It sounds fucking ridiculous. No, that's funny shit. No, I haven't seen that. I was thinking of the one. He had this one with this girl where they're like the last 2 survivors on Earth after like a plague or something, and it's like it's kind of like in black and white. But it was kind of shitty. It's more recent. It was like Roses or something. Maybe it was called. I got it in a red box when those existed. So
what happened to those?
They still exist.
Did they go bankrupt? Are they still around? I don't see them down here.
Because I know of 2 places where I don't know if I've seen. I got it because there's one right up at the Woodland Marketplace.
Is it still there
later? I don't know. I can't remember. I think it is. But yeah, a lot of people were stealing from them and shit. Really easy to scam it apparently.
Fucking people are just scumbags. Yeah, you can just put a DVD back in there that isn't the DVD when you return it.
Scumbag Planet. That one's harder to do. You just have to take the sticker off or something and put it on the other one. Yeah.
Can we talk about UFC?
Yeah. What you got?
All right. So first off, last week's fight night wasn't bad. It was pretty violent. One fight I do want to bring up. There's this guy named Steve Mean Machine Garcia, who's you could probably call like a mid-tier fighter at this point. I feel like we haven't seen enough of him in the UFC yet to be pretty consistent. But this last fight, dude, he was fighting this guy named like Milizekiel Costa, and he's this dude that's got like crazy colored hair, and I think he has like alopecia, so he's got like a lot of birthmarks and stuff or whatever.
Wait, hold on. Alopecia, she said all these other rappers dandruff.
yeah.
Garbage.
Anyways, and
wait, can you touch him? Ew, I don't want to touch this freak. What if he said that? Do you think he might get more mad?
Anyways, Steve Garcia like was getting grappled a lot in the first round, and then he comes out in the second round, dude, and just beats this man down, Jack. Like it was so violent. He gets on top of him, Jack, and he keeps hitting him with elbows to the point where each strike he was throwing was sounding wetter and wetter. Like he was just covered in his own blood. Yeah, dude, you could. It was violent, and then as the ref calls it off, Costa was so out of it from the elbows, he tried grappling the ref. And the ref,
way.
Yeah, dude, he was like grabbing the ref's legs.
And the ref put him in a fucking armbar and just snapped it. He's like, get off of me.
The ref did a switch, you know, he's going like over the wrestling. Yeah.
Like, now you're fighting me, the final boss.
Yeah. But no, so that was just like, I was like, holy shit. I haven't seen that brutal of a TKO in a while, just as far as like how much blood there was and just how abrupt it was and just the consistent landed strikes in a row. Brutal elbows, but you know, Steve Garcia got it done. But what we have to talk about is what you listeners could go watch this evening when this comes out on Saturday is UFC 296. Oh boy, we're getting close to 300. But 296 has got some tasty fights here this Saturday.
Oh, yes, sir.
Today, I should say, those that are listening.
Yeah, today.
So we'll start off. Like to mention that there was a fight canceled today. Ian Gary was supposed to fight Vincent Luque. Ian Gary's a bitch. He got pneumonia. He pulled out. Whatever, shit happens. But Ian Gary's a bitch for a lot of other reasons. He's been getting a lot of hate from the crowds. He wasn't going to go to the press conferences today if he wasn't sick anyways, supposedly. You can go look up Ian Gary and what all the drama is going on with him, but a lot of his fan base hates him now. He's basically trying to be like Conor McGregor, and he's super cringe. Just because he is from Ireland, he is undefeated, 13-0. But I was really hoping to see Vincent Luque bounce his head off the canvas, to be honest with you, and hoping that would happen. But so that fight got canceled. Now, no one knows if they're going to replace the fight on the main card or just move the Bryce Mitchell-Josh Emmett fight up to the main card. But anyways, that'll get me into this next one. So the feature prelim is Bryce Mitchell versus Josh Emmett. Now, Josh Emmett, as of like a week or two ago, was supposed to be fighting Giga Chikadze, but Giga got injured or something and he had to pull out. So guess who takes a fight on short notice? Bryce Mitchell out of Arkansas. He's like, if you think UFC, he's like the most redneck, you could say, UFC fighter, country boy. And like he kept asking Venom at the end of his fights. He has a pretty good record. I think he only has one loss. He kept asking Venom. He's like, "Where are my camo trunks? Where are my camo trunks?" And they eventually gave him camo Venom shorts. Trunks. Yeah. Nice. And but no, in the media day interview, they're like, he's always so outgoing and happy. And they're like, Bryce, like, what was it like when you got the call? He's like, actually, I was building a barn, and that's usually when I'm like, in really good mood is when I'm building something. And I said, heck yes, I'll come fight. I can make weight in a week. And then he proceeds in the interview. He proceeds in the interview to go on like a 5 to 10 minute tangent with the reporter, ask him if he knows what the best types of wood are, and comparing cedar and oak and what they're. He's like, he's like cedar will outlast oak. Like, yeah, he literally just starts talking about wood. Like, it was pretty fucking funny. This guy. Yeah, he's really spicy. He's actually, fun fact, he's one of 3 people that has a twister finish in the UFC. Have you ever seen a twister?
What's the fucking twister?
You got to be really good at jiu-jitsu to do a twister, dude. Yeah. You like literally, it looks like you're twisting their whole body. You got them from the side locked on the ground, and you're twisting their upper half and twisting their lower with your legs, and you get them to tap. You're like literally bending them into a corkscrew. And he has one. I think there's only been 1 or 2 ever in the UFC for a finish, and he has one of them. Anyway, so yeah, shout out Bryce Mitchell. That's going to be a banger against Josh Emmett. Like, Bryce Mitchell is a really good grappler. Josh Emmett's got like freaking stones in his hands, so it's going to be an interesting fight. But that brings us to the main card. Okay.
What are you devious over?
Well, now that Ian Gary's out, Patty and Tony open up the main card. They're the first fight on the main card.
Ooh,
Tony Ferguson versus Patty the Batty Pimblett at 155 lightweight. As everybody knows, Tony's seen better days. He's on a 6 fight skid, coming off of what was, I think, a 12 or 13 fight win streak, going to 6 straight losses ever since getting picked apart by Gaethje. And Patty is on a 6 fight winning streak. Now, those of you that follow know that Patty didn't win that last fucking fight. Jared Gordon beat Patty. He's on a 5 fight win streak. Those judges handed him that fight. Anyways, a lot of people are saying this is Tony's last chance to redeem himself. I mean, he got choked out by Bobby Green, for Christ's sakes, and Bobby's not even known for his submission skills. I really hope Tony changed things up. What's really interesting around it is he's been training with David Goggins, which, if you don't know who that is, go look him up. He's a Navy guy that literally has blown out knees and runs for miles and miles. He's making Tony keep running on the treadmill. Tony's puking in a bag. He's just keeps vomiting.
It's not a proper form in the training.
Here's what I'll say. No one is saying Tony's cardio's ever been a problem. Yeah. Tony's cardio's never been a problem. His problem was his fundamentals, his head movement, and his defense. He was blocking shots with his head. He's slow now. I really hope he went back to at least some sparring, because throughout all the interviews and press conference and stuff I've watched so far, he hasn't talked anything about sparring. Yeah, he's hitting mitts and stuff. Why aren't you, you need to be grappling, you need to be doing stuff.
He's sparring. He has to be.
I hope so, man. I don't know. But this is a lot of...
Do you fucking suck Tony's dick and they immediately go back and be like, this guy, I don't know, man, he's kind of a piece of shit.
No,
he's mentally ill, Paul.
I don't think he's a piece of shit. I love Tony. He's like my favorite fighter. But what I'm saying is,
in your boy.
I'm being realistic. I'm putting trust in him. I seriously think the fight's going to end one of 2 ways. Tony cuts up Patty so bad that they get a doctor stoppage because Tony's throwing bows like he did against Pettis. Pettis broke his hand. But, there's been stoppages with cuts, like I think Cowboy or something. And busted up nose, or Patty probably submits him. I don't see Patty knocking him out, but we also got to remember, Patty also, unless he's really changed up his game plan last year, blocked shots with his face as well. So this could just be like an ultimate slugfest back and forth. Who can get knocked out first if it doesn't go to the ground? But that's where I kind of worry is we've seen Tony's ground game really kind of deteriorate in the last 6 fights where he got sat on by Beneil Dariush. He got sat on by Charles Oliveira. He got put in a few different submissions. He got choked out by Bobby. I really hope he worked on the ground game or at least the defense, because that's one thing Patty's really, really good at, man. He's really good at ground game. So we'll see. Intriguing matchup, though. The next one after that is...
Hold on. Yeah, that's my opinion, you ass. I'm just kidding. No, I'm just being a dick. I got Tony. I got Tony written all over this. I don't think Patty can handle the heat. I think Patty's gonna come in there unprepared, and Tony's gonna catch him and just knock him out. I don't maybe.
Patty even said that he used to watch Tony growing up and is a fan of Tony, and he said like obviously he wants to see Tony go out on a win, but he said he can't let it be at my expense. It's like, well, even just having that thought's not good, man.
Yeah, right. No, for real. I'm taking Tony on this one. I'll bet you a shiny gold nickel that Tony takes it. Second round.
I'll bet you $1. I'll bet you $1 Tony takes it. You can bet on Patty.
I'm picking Tony. You get Patty. I don't want Patty. I'm not picking Patty. I'm not picking Patty at all. That fucking weird looking fuck.
Tony's like, I'm gonna cut patty cakes up. He's like, once he sees his own blood, he's gonna be scared or something like that.
Yeah, well, yeah, he could. All in his eyes. All right, what you got for us next? What's the next one?
Well, I'd like to add on top of that, David Goggins is gonna be in Tony's corner. So it's gonna be really funny if it goes in between rounds and he's like, stay hard, son. He's gonna be saying some fuck shit.
Do you think he's not gonna be wearing a shirt too?
Yeah, he's gonna take a shirt off. He's like, look at this, son. He's like, want to be as hot as me? Like, he's like,
he's gonna
say hard,
come on, hit me. Come on, hit this. And Tony's hitting him in the fucking side.
Yeah.
Do you think he's always like, I wonder if David Goggins is perpetually sweating. You ever think that?
Yeah, probably. Tony's during like the press con or like during like the media days, Tony is like out of nowhere pulls out of his hoodie. You want to meet my lizard? His name's Houdini, and he's got like a little like Christmas sweater on, and he's like, oh, he's camera shy right now. It's a little bearded dragon. I'm like, he just has that in his pocket. He just pulls it out. Like he pulls up out of his car. He's just got a fucking dragon in his pocket.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Lizard people are weird. People are like reptilians. So
I like reptilians.
There's the example, right?
Yeah. But now the next fight after that is at welterweight. It's Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, who is 41, fighting Shavkat Rakhmonov. Now, Jack, I don't know if you know who Shavkat is. I'm not sure what country he's from. It is some European country. It isn't Russia. This guy is 17-0, entirely undefeated, 100% finish rate. Ooh. He's never been defeated. He has 9 submissions, I think 8 knockouts.
Is that the guy that said,
he's European?
Back,
no.
Not until I'm the best. Who's that guy? I like that guy.
No, I'm not exact. I know I'm not 100% what country he's from, but it's some like European country. It isn't Russia. Anyways, dude, like his last fight was about to go to decision. He had like 25 seconds left. He starts beating up Jeff Neal so bad, and then he gets behind him and gets a standing choke. Like while they're standing, chokes him and makes him tap. This guy's a problem, dude. So anyways, I'd love to see Wonderboy win, who's like a plus 675 underdog. He's 41, coming off a great loss against, or great win against Kevin Holland. But I don't know, man. Shavkat, he'll finish you anywhere, dude. Whether it's submission or striking. Yeah. He's scary. And then I'll speed through the last two. The co-main, Pantoja versus Royval. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't really care about the flyweight division anymore, even though this is a belt fight. Pantoja has the belt. I liked it. Moreno a lot more as a champion. He was more personable. I liked him. Kind of hard to relate to Pantoja. Regardless, I know it's going to be a banger fight. Brandon Royval could end up taking the strap. Who knows? And then you got your main event, Colby Covington versus Leon Edwards for the welterweight belt. And, you know, Colby Covington's the MAGA guy. He wore a freaking... He had a suit at press conference, a white suit that has Make America Great Again, and then on the back has a Trump's mugshot. And he's wearing shades. He's just such a scumbag, dude. He's hanging with Trump in Mar-a-Lago, and like he's got video, like the press conference or him. Trump's like, he's like, you're a good fighter, but you're a terrible golfer. They're golfing together. It's just so like fucking like Colby plays such a character because you know it's all bullshit. Like he's
that's why
behind closed doors. Yeah, I know. He's like a WWE guy.
Well, before when he said he's got MAGA on his sleeve, it's like, oh, that's a little cringe because he's just
he's doing it on purpose.
Ideological. But then he said he's got his mugshot. I'm like, yeah, this guy's a meme. I got it.
He talks shit about everybody, dude. He doesn't care. Like he talks shit about Sean Strickland. He's not even in the weight class. He talks shit about like fucking everybody. He talks shit about LeBron James. Like he's like at the end of his freaking interview, he's like, fuck LeBron James, and put the fucking mic down and walked away. It's like, what the fuck?
That's pretty funny.
So I don't know. UFC 296 got me pumped, looking forward to an exciting night of fights.
When's it start? I'm off work, so
it's gonna probably be a late one. It's gonna be like the main fights won't get on to probably midnight. Like the main fight. The main card will start at 9. Patty will fight at 9 probably. Patty and Tony.
Okay, but I don't work at Sunday either, so I'll stay up. I at least want to see Patty and Tony fight 100% live. So let me know. If I'm not there, fucking message me. Be like, yo, we're fuck alright, motherfucker, because I'm gonna watch that because
Yeah.
I do want to see that. That one I was actually looking forward to
Hell yeah.
somewhat because those are the two fighters I only really know.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, no, it's gonna be cool. Check out UFC 296 right after you watch the cast. Go throw it on.
Hey, you just finished the cast. Go check out UFC.
Yeah. Perfect timing, man. You watched right at noon as it come out, like a good person, like a good boy, like you would do, and then you're done at what, 1 o'clock? You got plenty of time. Fuck you got going on. Just kidding.
How are we already up over an hour? That's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. Do you want to call it a show?
No, I couple more things maybe.
Couple more things. That's cool.
Yeah.
One or two.
Well, I guess one thing that kind of related is like, have you realized that we're kind of in this weird era of like larger sports organizations, and they've always done this, just kind of like obviously saying that CTE is not real, or not saying they're not saying CTE is not real, but they just don't even talk about it. And it's like we're at this weird moment where like we know that football and other sports, even combat sports, cause CTE, and we're just like completely okay with our kids playing football. Like we've accepted that. Like that's fine. Like it causes brain damage, right? And combat sports do too. But don't you think we're kind of at like a weird crossroads? Like, I mean, like in combat sports, a lot of the larger organizations like UFC, when something related to CTE happens, it really gets covered up or doesn't get like to the front of a news article, news page. And we know why. It's because they're covering it up. You know, they got the money. What do you think about that? Like, do you think that I mean, I think definitely everybody should be educated that like, hey, these people that do these sports are probably going to have fucked up brains. Like, you know, you're not supposed to take hits to the head or just hits in general like that in football, whether it's like a tackle or whatever, you know?
You can't discredit other body parts because we've had Glenn on in the past. Glenn has had a lot of problems with his dislocated shoulder, which was dislocated in 9th grade. He has had problems with it ever since, and it's only going to be a problem for the rest of his life.
That's very true.
It's hard to work out.
Ligaments.
It's hard to lift shit. It's hard to move. And this happened from a mistake that happened in 9th grade from a football. This is a football thing. If you let your kid do that, you just got to understand the risks, and that type of shit can happen. It can happen with the head too, which is obviously worse. But it can also happen to arms, legs, and shit. They can even be paralyzed. Very rare, but it does happen. I think personally, I'm inclined to believe that boxing in a controlled environment is safer than football.
100%.
And if we're gonna do school football, then we need to do school video games, like esports. And if that's cringe, it's cringe, but that's way safer, and no one's ever gotten hurt from that, you know, doing esports, except for that one time that Chinese kid stabbed that other kid. That was pretty wild. Yeah, you don't remember that? Yeah, that was wild. He lost in esports. He just stabbed his friend. But yeah, no, I've always had a problem with that. I honestly think sports shouldn't be through schools, especially sports that are gonna encourage somewhat violence and a lot of injury on our kids. Again, I'd rather they have a boxing program that funds the school rather than a football one.
Wouldn't you think these organizations would do a lot better coming out and openly admitting, like, I'm sure that, we donate to this fund and this fund and this fund, but it's like towards, you know, like brain recovery and CTE and whatever else. And it's just like, don't you think though, there should literally like, it should be more like widespread, like, hey, like this fucking happens. And it's like, well, you got to be dumb to think it doesn't hurt your head. Well, I get it, but it's like, I don't like it when, for instance, when Chris Benoit freaking, I mean, obviously that made headlines. He was an ex-wrestler. He definitely had CTE, freaking like murdered his whole family and killed himself. Like, and I think did a bunch of other shit. Well, and people were like, it wasn't CTE. And it's like, okay.
All right. Well, I know through schools for a fact that kids have to buy their own equipment, which is fucked up. If you really cared about the kids, companies, you would just pay for it. And second of all, if these kids don't have equipment that is equivalent to the goddamn NFL, would you even want your kid running around in the field smashing these heads into each other? Because I know it's a little different, but not really at the end of the day, dog. Like, I still want them in nice shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I personally would let my kid participate in those sports.
I would
let them understand the risks of what could happen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is like the kid's got to definitely be educated beforehand. It's like, hey, just so you know, like this could really hurt your brain like over the long term, and it's like not good for you. But if you really enjoy the sport and want to play it and get good at it, like I'll allow it. But you just got to understand the risks that come with it. And again, you're right. Not just the head. all types of different body parts. You blow your fucking knee out, tear your ACL, it can never be right again. You hurt your back, break a rib.
Yeah, no, it's dangerous games. That's football, hockey, maybe a little bit of baseball. Not the really bad happens in baseball. Soccer, I don't know. Someone gets hit in the head every once in a while, but they usually most of the time. A shin bone goes through their fucking leg. It's like you're fine. Like you get up, you're all right. But yeah, I don't know. It's just not good. I think it just hurts kids rather than helps them. But I
Jack,
don't care.
do you ever? I mean, obviously you save money. Everybody saves some. I mean, well, not everybody. Some people save money or try to put some away, whether it's anything from $10 a week to $100 a day, right? Or, $1,000 a month. Do you track your finances at this point in your life? And if so, how do you do it? Or do you just kind of eyeball it and keep in mind what you have coming up and just kind of based on what you have?
I know pretty much what I'm spending. I don't like write it down, but I have all the bank. I'm in my bank account or my bank like once a day, just looking, and I know how much comes in. I know how much I can spend, and yeah, sometimes I spend a little bit more than I should. But yeah, I do track what I get. I've gotten my dailies down, like my protein drinks and my Celsius. I just bought a shit ton. Fucking expensive, bro. I fucking spent like $90 at fucking.
You should
Sam's Club
try
for, like, 6 things.
You should try buying the packets of Celsius instead.
I don't want that. I want the sparkling. I don't. I need the sparkling, but I am gonna start buying. I heard Hostel, pure caffeine tablets are really good. I only heard that because Sam Solik said they're good, and I kind of trust them. So I might order some of those because those are gonna be a better option. But I still want to drink a Celsius.
Those protein shakes that cut like that Quest makes or something in like those weird box carton things? You seen those?
I don't drink those. I know what you're talking about. I drink the Core Power.
I was buying those, and then I go to Aldi's and I find Elevation's like their protein brand, and usually the Elevation stuff sucks. Like their bars have way less protein, they have a lot of sugar, but I literally compared and contrasted the Quest milkshake to the Elevation one. It is exactly the same and has 10 less calories.
Ooh, see, that's always the way to go. Is you can find a cheaper, more
so I go with the Elevation,
option.
and I think they taste better too, vanilla and chocolate ones.
I go with the Core. I try to find not the Elite one because it's less calories, but I can't find the regular ones. I can only get the Elite, which is like 230 calories. It's got 42 grams of protein. It's powered by Fairlife. It's literally just Fairlife chocolate milk. It goes down that smooth. It's fucking delicious. Drink like maybe one of those a day. Maybe usually like once every 3 days because I don't like liquid calories too much.
Yeah.
But I do that.
I drink
that
like half a one,
and then
every couple.
And then
days.
I got a little bit of a sweet tooth,
I get it.
So I've just swapped over to these guys, and these seem to satisfy me. I don't like this flavor that much. The Quest cookies, the Snickerdoodles.
The Snickerdoodles are horrible.
What do you mean? This shit's not that bad.
That one's good, terrible. You gotta get the peanut butter, bro.
Yeah,
that one's fucking terrible.
I know, but you can never find the. Shut up! I'm eating it. You're not even eating. You're acting like I'm handing it to you to eat. Shut up. Fucking. No, these are good. Shut up. Shut up. No, these are good.
At least get the peanut butter chocolate.
They don't have the 4-pack of the peanut butter. I can't find them because I don't want to
buy the big one.
They're so expensive. I can't. There's bigger packs.
Hey,
I gotta go on Amazon.
Yeah, go on Amazon. But here's also a heads up: stop doing the cookies. Stop doing the cookies. Here are the 2 rules you should be following with those, Jack. Okay. With any protein bar or protein snack, under 200 calories, which those cookies are not, and at least 20. Yep, they're not. And at least 20 grams of protein, which those are not. They don't hit those 2 marks. So I stopped eating them. I finished them all off. Now I do.
Where'd these marks come from?
Just like a fitness guy online. He's like, really, any protein bar should be 200 calories or under and at least 20 grams of protein. If you aren't getting at least that, they aren't fucking worth it. But I don't know. That's just a good staple to live by for me. That isn't going to hurt you. It's better than nothing.
I preface this as this is my treat. This is Jackson's treat. And also 30 calories more. Shut up. That doesn't even. What is that? I fucking just breathing right now. I expended that 30 calories. Okay. And 15, it's 5 less. Frankly, this guy is kind of a dickhead that you're talking about. I think you're getting swindled. He's just trying to keep all the Quest to himself. That's what he's trying to do. This fucker.
He's like, what? He's like, why are the peanut butter cookies always sold out? That's it. I'm making a video. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, no, later, that is what? That's a fucking psyop, bro. It's fucked up, dog. That's fucked up.
No.
Eat the Quest. The Snickerdoodle's not that good. Get the peanut butter. I don't know. I don't even want to finish that one. It's fucking gross.
They're terrible. This is what I do
bad.
now. I do the pure protein chocolate deluxe ones, which are 180 calories, 21 grams of protein. Or I do the Quest cookies and cream. And the reason why I do that one specifically, even though maybe it's not the best flavor, is, well, I think it gets you 21 or 22 grams of protein. It's like 190 calories, but not a lot of people know this. It's got about 49% of your daily intake of fiber in just that bar. That's pretty fucking crazy. It's pumped with fiber, which is good for your heart. It's good for a lot of things. Just got to make sure you're drinking a lot of water. Now, I know we kind of got sidetracked with finances and stuff, but that's what I wanted to talk about, was just like, lately that's like, you know, for the last year and a half, I started a spreadsheet where it's just like, hey, this is how much I make a year. These are the debts I have, such as like, here's my student loans, and as of this day I owe this much. I'll update it every once in a while or something. And then I have a list of all my monthly expenses, how much that is. And then I also have like, hey, this is what I make a month, subtract everything that I spend a month. This is what I have at the end of the month as far as saving or extra money, right? And but today, you know, I'm going through all this stressful stuff with like buying a home with all the closing costs and escrow fees and all this shit. So I'm trying to like really gauge where I'm going to be at in 3 months. And I think I'm going to be fine, but it's just like, dude, once you start like making more money and tracking money and you have more expenses, it really starts to get stressful keeping on top of like everything. It's like, it's not hard to pay everything. It's not like I overspend by any means. I do not live like I make more money than I do. You know, I'm frugal. I'm as frugal as you can be in a sense. Do I treat myself to things like every once in a while? Yes. You know, I think you should. That's a good thing you should be doing. You should be treating yourself. One thing though, like I'm going to start cutting out now in the next couple months is like me and my girlfriend, we would try to go out to eat like once a week, like on a Saturday or a Sunday, whether it be after we go grocery shopping or Sunday we're bored. Hey, let's go grab something to eat. I'm going to try cutting that out and just replacing it with like, oh, let's just buy a little more groceries, which is still going to end up being cheaper in the long run. And let's just make a nice dinner that one night. You know, like I think that's what we're going to start prioritizing over eating out.
Fuck eating out.
I don't know, man. I'm a fat boy. I love I haven't had McDonald's in who knows how long, but I love everything from fast food to Chinese food to, you know, restaurant. I like to eat out. Like, I mean, well, I can't even be saying much. I went and ate out last night, but I didn't pay for it because, you know, people were in town. They paid for our meal. But it's just like, I don't know. That's something you don't realize really adds up. Like again, it's once a week. It's a lot different if we were eating out every day. Like that's where it becomes like you're spending so much and it's bad for you. Right. But I feel like once a week doesn't hurt, and fuck, maybe we'll cut it back to once a month or not do it at all for a while, you know? But I do think it's really important. Yeah. I mean, I do think it's really important that people do treat themselves, whether it be going out to eat or buying themselves something. But just tracking finances, man, is stressful. And if you aren't already, start putting shit in a spreadsheet and really just seeing on paper what you spend a month and on what and what days you get paid, and just kind of lining everything up. It's actually crazy. You can actually cut some things out doing it that way when you can see it all in one thing. Because just looking at your bank account, what I was doing before, and just flipping through, oh yeah, that went through, okay, it looks good, that's fine. But eventually you're going to get to the point where you have so many different things, or things you got to like save up for, that you're like, oh, I need to trim some corners here and there, you know? It's crazy.
Yeah, you should kind of already have your habit picked out.
Yeah.
Like have that habit picked up before you start building up all that shit. Kind of like where I'm at in that stage where I don't have a super crazy amount of expenses. So it's good looking out. But Gutterball Financial Advice. Hire us for your financial needs.
Don't hire me.
You can hire me.
Well, Jack, should we call it a show?
I think we should call it a show real quick before I'll let Paul take it over after I break down some things, because frankly, I didn't mean to talk to y'all for a little bit. I'm going to be real for you for a bit. Shorts have been on a downtrend. I know you guys have seen this. I'm sorry. For the first time in my life, I'm kind of socializing and making new friends. I legitimately haven't been home. I'm actually going out right after the cast. I legitimately haven't been home
you, man.
to make it. So I'm kind of doing that right now. But shorts are still going to be coming out periodically. Don't think I forgot about them, ladies and gentlemen. So I just want to really emphasize, if anyone's watching that was on the show and I haven't made a short with your cast, don't feel sad. Don't cry to me later. I'm trying my best, man. All right.
There's some good ones in the Ryan one.
Joe. Yeah. Guys message me constantly like, bro, I don't know.
He's not.
I'm just kidding. No. Wait, anyway. Yeah. That's all I got to say. Remember, just like, subscribe, comment. You want to get on Gutterball. I'll let Paul take it from here. And I really appreciate y'all tuning in so far. I love you. Thanks.
Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. This is Gutterball 78. If you need anything, comments below. Do you want me to come to your barbecue and grill for you? Let us know. We'll pull up. No, if you want to come on the show, if you've been listening, you're a friend of mine, you're an acquaintance of mine, you're like, hey, I saw Paul's Snap story. What's this weird podcasting he does? This fucking sucks. I could do way better. Come on the show and come chat with us. Show us how you can do it better. I'd love you to come on, have a conversation with. We want anybody from any background, any experience. It'll be a good time. We just kind of shoot the shit, you know? It's like Seinfeld. It's a show about nothing. We'll talk about what you want to talk about. So everybody remember, like, comment, subscribe. Sorry if I'm very repetitive. I've been very repetitive lately. But yeah, have a great weekend. It's Saturday. Go do something fun. Hopefully the weather's nice wherever you're at. And that was Gutterball 78. Whoa!